Hello YouTube friends, it's Jared checking in again. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to build muscle at the optimal rate that you genetically can. I'll cover how to calculate your own personal caloric needs in order to build muscle, as well as the proper way to use supplementation. And I will even recommend the bodybuilding program that I believe is the most promising in terms of stimulating maximum hypertrophy. Before we get started, please drop this video a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future content pertaining to building muscle, burning fat, or other aspects of self-development and reaching your full potential in life. When you break it down to its basic components, building muscle is very simple. It's not necessarily easy, but the mechanisms that produce muscle growth are quite simple and easy to understand. First and foremost, you must be eating in a caloric surplus. In other words, you need to be taking in more energy in the form of food every day so that your body has more than it needs to meet its basic requirements. When you are in a caloric surplus, your body's natural tendency is to store the excess energy either as fat or as new muscle tissue. This brings us to the only other component required for muscle growth. You must give your body a reason to store that extra energy as muscle instead of fat. How do you do this? You push your existing muscle tissue past the limits of what it is currently able to handle. You break it down and you destroy it. This triggers your body to say, holy crap, this guy is nuts. We better use whatever extra calories he is feeding us to build up stronger just in case the psychopath tries that again. With consistency, your body eventually realizes it needs to just keep putting all of the extra energy you are feeding it to building itself up, so that it can survive in the seemingly hostile conditions you are creating for it. Now it's important to note that your body has its own genetic limits and tendencies for this process of muscle growth. There are three main body types. There are ectomorphs. These are the guys or gals who can eat an entire box of pizza in one sitting and still naturally have tiny drumstick arms. If you're an ectomorph, you are going to have a harder time building muscle, but you can still gain 20 to 30 pounds of lean mass in your career as a natural bodybuilder. On the right side, you are likely to have an easier time staying lean while bulking and not having to cut as often as the other two body types. Secondly, there are endomorphs. Endomorphs are people who gain weight by just looking at a donut. It seems no matter how much they wrestle with their metabolism and restrain their appetite, they have a hard time keeping the weight off. For endomorphs, it is hard to build muscle but easy to pack on fat. The third and final body type, the body type everyone is jealous of and hates, is the mesomorph. These people naturally have hard, lean, yet semi-muscular bodies without even having to pick up a pair of dumbbells or watch what they eat. They are more likely genetically oriented to have higher levels of testosterone and therefore have an easier time storing whatever excess calories they eat as new muscle tissues. Yeah, don't worry, I hate them too. I'll be discussing how you should arrange your macronutrients based on your body type here in a minute. Today's question of the day is, based on your own observations, would you say that you're an endomorph, ectomorph, or a mesomorph? Let me know in the comment section below because I'd really like to see what percentages of you people fall into which categories. This is where things get interesting. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to calculate exactly how many calories you need to build muscle optimally. If you don't already have a calculator with you, I recommend pausing the video and grabbing one, or just bookmark this video in a playlist so you can come back and do this again at a later time. Anyway, the first step is to multiply your body weight in pounds by 10. This will give you your resting metabolic rate, or RMR for short. This resulting number is the number of calories you burn every day just to breathe, have your heart continue to beat, and your brain continue to function. Write this number down as you will need it later. Next, you'll multiply your RMR by 0.20. This resulting number is your daily activity burn, which is the number of calories you are likely to expend by just walking around, sitting in your chair at work, or texting on your phone. Write this number down as well. Then you will add your RMR to your daily activity burn and you will get the total number of calories you need just to live healthily on a rest day. The next step is to account for the number of calories you spend on your workouts. If you are doing a typical bro split non-aerobic weightlifting routine, you probably burn about 300 calories in a 1-hour session. If you're doing something more intense like P90X, it's closer to the 600 calorie mark per session. Either way, add this number into your daily total. Now what you are left with at this stage is the number of calories you will need to eat in order to just maintain your current body weight. If your goal is to gain muscle, you should allocate an extra 500 calories to your daily budget to put you in a surplus, so your body has an abundance of fuel to convert to new muscle tissue. If you're an ectomorph, you may eventually need to increase this 500 calorie surplus to upwards of 1,000 additional calories, but 500 is a good starting point. Conversely, if you want to lose body fat, you should cut this number down by 500 to create a deficit, which will force your body to tap into your current body fat stores to make up the difference in energy. So far, so good? Now that we have the number of calories you need to eat to pack on muscle, we need to account for which of the three body types you are in order to decide what your macronutrient ratios should look like. First on the list, if you're an endomorph and are prone to fat gain, you would be best suited eating a 50-30-20 macro ratio. 50% of your calories should be coming from protein, while 30% come from carbs and 20 from fat. I will teach you how to calculate how many grams of each of these spells out in a minute. Next up, if you are a mesomorph, you would experience optimal gains in eating a balanced ratio of 40-40-20. If you are an ectomorph and really struggle to put on any weight at all, you should go for the energy and performance ratios where you get to eat a whopping 60% of your calories from carbohydrates, 20% from protein, and 20% from fat. Again, these are all just starting guidelines. Everyone's body is unique, and you may find you need to tweak these ratios or even cut or increase your calorie allowance as you go. But I would start at this baseline for the cleanest bulk and muscle gains you can get. So in order to calculate how many grams of protein, carbs, and fats you should be eating, you need to know that 1 gram of protein is composed of 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrates is also composed of 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat is made up of 9 calories. If your caloric budget, for example, is 2,900 calories per day and you are an endomorph, you would multiply 2,900 by 0.5 to get a total of 1,450 calories that should be coming from protein each day. Then, knowing that 1 gram of protein consists of 4 calories, you would divide 1,450 by 4, which would give you 362.5 grams of protein to be consumed per day. One more example would be if you are a mesomorph and 40% of your 3,200 calorie budget is to come from carbohydrates, you would multiply 3,200 by 0.4 and get 1,280 calories from carbs each day. Then divide 1,280 by 4 and this would net you a total of 320 grams of carbs to work with each day. If this is unclear and you need help calculating your macros, just ask in the comment section below and I will do it for you. With the optimal diet for you to follow to build muscle taken care of and out of the way, we can proceed to the next question I always get, which is supplementation. Everyone always asks me what protein powder is the best and what supplements they should take. It's almost like people think supplements are some magic potion, like steroids, that are going to give them insane results that food won't. Let me make this very clear. Food always has been and always will be infinitely more helpful in your quest to build muscle than supplements ever will be. I don't even use a protein powder myself. Supplements should only be used to fill the gaps in your diet that you need in order to make up for what you can't with food. For example, if you are on a tight budget and can't afford 250 grams of quality protein from a wild Alaskan salmon, then eat what you can in salmon and make up the difference with a protein powder. Your health and gains in general would be better if it was all from wild salmon, or liver, or whatever other superfood you could think of. But protein is protein at the end of the day, and it will still get the job done for protein synthesis. If you absolutely must use a supplement to meet your macronutrient needs, then I would advise you to steer clear of protein powders altogether and instead opt for desiccated liver tablets. Why? Because with desiccated liver, you are not only getting a protein supplement, but you're getting a BCAA supplement, as they contain all 9 branched chain amino acids, as well as some non-essential amino acids as well. You're getting loads of vitamin A, vitamin B12, which has been shown to be a very anabolic vitamin, by the way, and you're even getting plenty of creatine in them. It's like you're getting 3 different supplements for the price of one. Furthermore, you should be aware of a study conducted by one Dr. Benjamin H. Ershoff. The name of the 1951 study is Beneficial Effect of Liver Feeding on Swimming Capacity of Rats in Cold Water. To summarize the study, Dr. Ershoff and his colleagues had 3 groups of rats. For several months before the final test, they fed the first group a standard rat diet. The second group of rats was fed the same diet, but with the addition of vitamin B12 added to their rations. The third group was fed the same diet as the first group, but with the addition of 10% of their diets coming from the desiccated liver. At the end of the feeding and preparation phase, each group of rats was put one by one into their own respective drums of water in which they could not escape. Their only choice was to keep paddling water or face certain death from drowning. Group 1 had all drowned by the end of 12 minutes. Group 2 took a little longer and had all drowned within 15 minutes. However, Group 3, the desiccated liver fed group, were all still swimming at the end of 2 hours. What does that tell you about the efficacy of this wonder supplement? There's a reason why old school classic bodybuilder himself, Vince Gironda, advocated taking 4 of these pills every hour throughout the day. In fact, he claims to have gained a solid inch to his arms in 1 month flat after incorporating this strategy. I mean, seriously, look at this guy. As far as I'm concerned, every word that proceeds out of his mouth should be considered bodybuilding gospel. Anyways, this video would not be complete without advocating a weightlifting regimen to go along with the diet and supplementation advice. If your primary goal is just hypertrophy, I would go with something like 10x10 German volume training. If your goal is primarily just to get strong, I would go with Bill Starr's 5x5 program. However, if you are looking for a muscle building program that is great all around and will not only just give you hypertrophy but also strength gains, then look no further than time volume training. Why exactly do I advocate time volume training? It's quite simple, really. For starters, it builds muscle like clockwork at a rapid speed, even in experienced trainers who are long past their beginner gains and are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. It develops a base of real strength that will push the numbers on your max lifts higher and higher without damaging your joints. It won't crush your recovery, destroy your central nervous system, spike your cortisol, or trash your immune system, or even suppress your natural testosterone production like so many other of these extreme regimens do. Time volume training produces workhorse strength for all-day power and endurance that doesn't quit or fade out. It recruits dormant muscle fibers that your body normally can't access and therefore can't grow. Most importantly, this program works for everybody, from total beginner to very advanced. If you're interested in learning more about how to do time volume training, I recommend checking the link in my video description below. I hope this video has helped make the principles of muscle building easier for you to understand and that you have gained some insight from it. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos in the future. Cheer it out.